Good mythical morning, everybody. It's been over a year since they added Blade, and recently they have decided to bless us with their brand new character called Gun, or some of you might know him as the Hood. The reason why I like to call him Gun is because he shoots guns and transforms into larger and larger guns. We'll break down every single ability and every single gun he has. He is a Vanguard, thankfully, and he is a chunky boy. His size is around Emma size, but a little bit larger and a little bit blockier, as you can see here. He is also smaller than Groot, as you might see here. So definitely not one of the largest models that they have for Vanguard. He's a more medium-sized Vanguard, but he's one of the skinnier ones, but also very tall. His primary attack is obviously him shooting his guns. He can headshot. This is the amount of damage he does, and you might wonder, what is that thing that I'm charging up right now? Well, it's his demonic energy, and when it's at 50%, you shoot your guns faster. And when it's at 100%, which I'll build up from shooting these spots across the map, you can shoot 2 guns because you transform your hands into guns. Very cool design. Now, as you can see, I can hold left click, or I can hold right click, or I can hold both right click and left click to shoot more bullets and shoot faster. He has 600 HP, and his melee is very unique. It is a little bit long range, so you don't have to be kissing anybody to be meleeing them, so you can keep your distance. Now, whenever you're in your half-demon form or demi-demon form, he does get lifesteal, and the best way for me to showcase that lifesteal is if I take some damage here and then transform into my half-demon form. Now, he has 40 bullets, he can be shooting for a while, and when he is in his half-demon form, as you can see, I'm life stealing, but I also have infinite ammunition. His fall off, let me see his fall off. It seems like it's pretty decent. Like, he does do quite a bit less damage from what I can see. I'm not quite sure what the math is on this. Maybe one day NetEase will give us early patch notes of their characters so I can give you exact numbers, but yes, he does probably have some sort of follow-up. He doesn't headshot in his demon form. I'm not quite sure. Give me a second, let me test this out. Does he headshot in his demon form? I think he does. He does, okay. And he doesn't have auto aim. Some people were confused from the trailer. You have to aim him. It's not auto aim, right? Let's get into his abilities. His first ability is his shield. Now, his ability here is on a 10-second cooldown and works like any other shield. It also gives you charge for your demon form. Now, when I say it works like any other shield, I mean it blocks all damage, but it also just absorbs it. It's kind of like Magneto and surrounds you, but it only lasts for like a second. You can hold it for a little bit with your right click. If you tap it, it instantly disappears, right? So if I go back, remove my cooldown, tap this, it's instantly gone. You definitely want to hold it, and you can shoot while you are under the shield. Now, it does give you demonic energy, and gives you demonic energy if you absorb some bullets as well. Now, you just saw his other ability. We'll get into that a little bit later. First, we're gonna go through his right click. Right, so this absorbs some damage, and when you get 50 charge on your demonic form, it makes your shield a little bit larger. Now, the way you use the shield is you walk up to somebody, you give them a hug, and then you just absorb their healing and the damage they're gonna do, and that is gonna isolate them, and you can probably execute somebody pretty quickly without any heal, especially if it's like a squishy, right? I do want to point out that, you know, this is his ability page for anybody that cares. So this is like a little sneak peek on what he does. There's a lot of text, but if anyone wants to pause the video, they can check out his every ability and read it out for themselves. I might miss something myself. His second ability is his shift. His shift, whenever you use it, you become like a cloak and dagger. You basically fade away, and you explode whenever you fade back into reality. I'm not sure if they can see you whenever you are faded. Probably not, if I assume it works the same way as Cloak or Scarlet. But whenever you're next to somebody, you blow up, and you also get a little bit of movement speed when you get out of the form. Plus, whenever you use your shift, you do get 20 charge for your demon form. Also, very important to note that the demon form energy doesn't ever disappear. It stays and doesn't decay forever. So you can have 99 energy and then eventually shoot your last bullet and transform into your demon. you cannot choose when to transform. You kind of can, but you just need to be careful. And your demon form is very important, so you need to make sure you're using it in the right situations. It doesn't have a cooldown, so you just keep building it up, keep going to demon form, keep going out of it, and whatever else, right? So demon form builds up with your right click, with your shift, and then starts building up a little bit faster because you shoot faster as well. And then I can shoot my guns here, as I showed you previously, and you can exit your demon form early though. So that is the small caveat here. You cannot choose when to enter demon form, you can choose when to exit it. Now, moving on, I'm going to change my team ups here, and we're going to discuss team ups later. But his Moon Knight team up is very interesting, and you probably have to stay and watch the video for a little bit longer to find out what it does. Moving on, his E. It kind of works like Cloak and Dagger's team up with the Hood. I know, very shocking. It basically reduces any healing that goes through the big wall. It's a veil, and whenever the healing goes through this veil, enemy healing, it's reduced, and damage is also reduced that, you know, allies or you receive that, you know, go through the veil. Pretty self-explanatory. Also, whenever somebody goes through the veil, they are blinded and they take some damage. They are not, you know, they don't have vulnerability applied to them, so it's not like Theracare. But yeah, you don't want to go through the veil. You don't want to shoot through the veil, really, but it's a good way to block off healing for the enemy vanguard, or maybe heal for the enemy strategist whenever you dive them, because this will reduce the amount of patty caking they can do. Now, it also has one more additional buff, so if I get into my demon form here, it's going to take a little bit of time. I can remove my cooldowns and actually do this. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a chud. Now, if I use my Veil here and I shoot through this, it increases my lifesteal. So my lifesteal from my demi-demon form, semi-demon form, half-demon form, it is increased when shot through the Veil. Very important to know. So that's what the Veil does. I'm going to make sure I'm not missing something because I don't want to lie to you. And also one more thing I forgot to mention, it does build more demonic energy if you shoot through it. So, as you can see, I think it's a little bit faster now. Definitely faster. So that's it. That's all the Veil does. It has a 10-second cooldown. And as I said, the intended way for you to use it will probably be to genuinely go on the enemy backline and reduce the amount of patty caking they can do, or go on the enemy vanguard, place this behind them, reduce the healing that is done, and basically shut him down. It's kind of like a healing reduction that Blade applies with his ult. Kind of, if you really like to push it that way. The reason I'm saying that is because, again, when people shoot through it, it does reduce the healing. I'm not quite sure what else you would be using it for, but I do assume that is the intended way of maximizing value. Maybe you can heal for your supports as well by placing it behind whenever they're being dove, because enemies will be blinded when going through it. But I don't think that is the most effective way of gaining value. To the next thing that we have here on the list, on the agenda, is his ultimate ability. Now, his ultimate ability, when I saw it in the trailer, I assumed it was kind of bad, but now that I played around with it, it's pretty interesting. First and foremost, he does transform fully into Gun, or the Gun Devil from Chainsaw Man. Genuinely, he's just a big-ass gun. Now, he has 6 shots with his gun, and these 6 shots are very effective because they do pierce enemies and they have no fall of damage. Now, I need to disable cooldowns and re-enable it again, but this is how, again, it works. As you see, it pierces enemies, and I'm going to shoot that bot over there, and maybe I can hit that bot over there. As you can see, it's full damage, and it definitely doesn't have any fall off. Now, the reason why I say that this ult is a lot better than the trailer showcased it is because this ult heals you to full HP. If I walk up to these bots right here, take some damage, and use my ult, you'll see that I'll be healed to full immediately. Not only that, but every time I shoot a bullet, I gain 150 shields, I think, or 155, up to 200 shields max, which means that whenever you take damage, or your teammates take damage, because they also get shields, you do build up quite a bit of shields around them. So it kind of can be used as a defensive ult if you really want to. It is very good at keeping you and your team alive, but it also is very good at shutting down enemies. It also has a very unique effect where if you shoot your all 6 bullets, the last bullet does more damage. As you can see, it has a little bit of an animation on it. Boom. And does quite a bit more damage. Now, you can exit this full demon form whenever you want. And you also cannot move. You're stuck, basically. But you can exit. You don't have to stay in it. I keep going and removing and re-enabling my cooldowns because you do not have the chance to shoot all 6 bullets if you have no cooldowns enabled. If you ult in the air, you get stuck in the air as well. So you can do this if you really wish to do so. Now, it might be a little bit less effective because your teammates might not be getting shields. I'm not sure what their range is on that, but it's still pretty good to catch enemies off guard. Now, why did I say this ult is really good? Hear me out here. The idea that I've had with this ultimate ability is pretty straightforward. I think that the way you are probably going to be using this ult is not to just use it in the middle of your team and do some damage, because you can do damage nevertheless. You know, you can either way you can do damage. The way I envision this ult to really be used is by going in, doing a bunch of damage on the enemies, you know, like, oh, the enemy backline is here, and I'm boom, 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 and I'm in the middle of them, and then I'm using my abilities, and I'm going crazy mode, right? And I use my shields, and I use my veil, and I'm taking damage, and whatever else, and then when I run out of cooldowns, and when I run out of HP, and there's nobody to heal me, I pop my ult, instantly full HP, gain 200 shields per shot, and genuinely just finish off anyone that's sitting there. I think that is pretty crazy. It is a full heal, and you come back with your full HP. So you going in and diving the enemy backline, imagine kind of like Phoenix ult, but even more powerful in that sense. Imagine you just dive them, and they invest every cooldown on you, and then you pop your ult, and then they invest every ult on you again, or every ability. They finally break your ult, and you just fade away right after. Nobody can do anything. As you can see, you're immune to stuns because of your health bar being golden. That's what signifies that this character cannot be stunned or moved. This is genuinely insane. It also pierces shields, so tanks can't do anything to save their backline. Quite insane. I do genuinely believe this ult is a lot better than I initially thought, and will enable a very strong dive playstyle for this tank. You don't even have to play this tank as a diver. You can genuinely just go in and shut down the enemy tanks by placing your shields behind them, and placing a veil, and, you know, doing just a bunch of damage on their head with your increased attack speed or eventual demi-demon form. Now, I do want to say something that I forgot to mention. You can't use your shield in your semi-demon form. That is one thing that you need to know. You can't use your shield. So your shield is only in your normal human form, or, you know, until you transform into your semi-demon form. We need to discuss his team-ups, and his team-ups are quite strong from my personal, you know, first impressions. His first team-up is Scarlet Witch, and the Scarlet Witch team-up places a little chungus on the ground that does damage, and you can teleport to it. Very good. Also, I think reduces healing, if I'm correct. Yes, healing reduction as well. So enemies in this circle are gonna receive reduced healing, and you can just teleport there. So this is a very strong engage tool. You cannot fly super far away, I think. Let me see. I think first time I was testing it, there was a limit on the range. So if I place it over there and I move away, so yeah, this is too far away now. But yeah, it is pretty far the range, but you cannot be infinitely far away before you teleport. Still very good, because you can use this ability, this team up, go in, get some kills, place your shield on somebody, shoot them up, transform into your semi-demon form, and then just fade away like nothing ever happened. You do get movement speed whenever you fade as well, so very good. You can also place your veil. There's a lot of ways to get in and out, and I'm not talking about cheeseburgers. Now, his upgraded form for the Scarlet Witch basically changes it so whenever you teleport to the team up, it knocks enemies up in the air. Very small knock-up, not very useful. I will also showcase to you the damage this team-up actually does on enemies. Boom. Very fast, you know, time to kill. Boom. Very good. Is it useful to have a Scarlet Witch on your team? Probably not. Scarlet didn't really get any big buffs, so she's still pretty bad. I know. Bogur doesn't know anything about the meta. Scarlet is still, unfortunately, not good enough to be running on your team. But her base team up with the hood is quite strong. Not to mention that this does do AoE damage, so it's a very strong team up, and I actually do prefer it over the Moon Knight one. And now we're gonna talk about the Moon Knight team up. The Moon Knight team up changes your shield, or your, not your shield, but your veil fundamentally, at least on like how it works. It now works like a shield. So enemies cannot shoot through it. It's a 200 HP shield, and when this shield breaks, it applies the blind and healing reduction, also deals a little bit of damage. So enemies that actually shoot through this thing do not get the chance to shoot through. So it changes the ability like fundamentally. Like people can break it now. So before it was an infinite amount of damage that you could reduce and infinite amount of healing you can reduce theoretically because it never broke. But now it's like you can only block 200. So I don't know if I like this. It really depends. We're gonna have to test it. It is nice to have a secondary shield. Now, it does apply the healing reduction, damage reduction when it explodes. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna read up on this. Upon breaking, it detonates, damaging enemies and applying damage and healing reduction. And you know, enemies that pass through it are blinded and take damage. It just changes the ability fundamentally, and you're missing a portal. I didn't actually see how big the cooldown is on the TP. Let me just check this. 16 seconds. So you lose up TP and your ability, your veil changes fundamentally. So I don't know how good it is actually. The upgraded version of this is whenever you team up with Moon Knight, the Lunar Barrier has greater shield value. So it now has 300 HP, and whenever you shoot through it, it applies a bounce effect on your bullets. Now, I don't see the bounce effect. I'm not gonna lie, I might be stupid. I don't quite understand the bounce effect that they're talking about because my bullets don't seem to be bouncing. So I don't know if it's bugged or I'm, you know, misunderstanding here, but I just don't understand where the bouncing effect comes from. Like, I've shot bots here, I've shot bots that are stuck together, I've shot the floor. It doesn't seem like it applies a bounce effect. But your shield is 300 HP now, so that's very good because you now have 2 shields. But again, I kind of prefer the TP. I will test more of it. As a matter of fact, I'll probably be live testing it when you watch this video. Both the video and the early preview will be happening at the same time. So that's about it for his team ups. That's about it for his abilities. He's a 2-star difficulty character, and I do think he's gonna be decent. He already has more HP than Vanguard Pool, I'm pretty sure, and I think he's better than him. Now, I'm showing off the skins here because people always ask for skins, but this skin is very tough, it's very good, and he has a purple skin as well. This is his MVP, Ride or Die. You probably saw it in on Twitter. And these are his emotes. He does dance. He's hitting it. This is a base emote. He has some sprays. As you can see here, emojis, whatever else, accessories, Madrecita plush, abilities you have over there, and then proficiency that people want to see. This is the KO. You can't see it. Let me hide my camera. KO for the quad, or like any KO kill streak. This is the upgrade version, and this is his tough Lord icon, and then this is his animated Lord icon. So this is very tough because it actually has a little bit more effect than his normal or like normal anime Lord icons, because his eyes are glowing and he's like aura and tough, and everybody's gonna be LARPing, but very good. A very cool character. I think the character is very simple, very straightforward. Probably definitely good. We don't have many tanks that can shoot long range, and Vanguard pool has been the strongest one for a while because he's one of the few tanks that can shoot long range. And now we have this guy that has 100 more HP and probably better ability. So I think the Hood is going to be replacing tank pool. That is my early opinion on the character. I definitely see this character replacing tank pool. I think he does everything better. I might be wrong. We'll see. I admit whenever I'm wrong, mostly. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful Chungus day. And definitely check out my stream for some Hood gameplay. I'll be playing him today, and I'll be playing him when the new season releases. And take care, guys. Take care. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to check out my stream. Don't forget to take a shower. Don't forget to hit the gym. And, you know, just take care. Bye.